Hey guys, we're at the range. We just got the Helix built from bare bones to stabilizer, sight, rest, D-loop. Everything is dialed into the peep sight. We did not have a chance, however, to sight it in, so that's what we're doing today. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can either click the link in the description or the video at the end card. But if you remember, if you have seen that video, Jeremiah brought up a good point of keeping your pins kind of lower towards the bubble, and your top pin should be pretty center of your sight window. So as you just saw, I shot 3 arrows and they're all pretty in line left to right, but they're all a little bit high. So instead of raising the pins, we're actually going to raise the sight housing a little bit to compensate. We're going to chase the arrow, get it more dialed into the center, and that'll also give me more clearance on my slide rather than moving the individual pins, moving the housing. So we're going to move that and see if we can get it more centered. Okay, so we're about 14 inches high. My sight housing actually right now is at 7.5. I think we're going to move it all the way up to 10 and see if that gets us on paper at least. So on the black gold, to move the housing on this side right here, you can micro adjust the pins, but we're going to move the whole, we're going to go ahead and move the whole housing. So we're at 7.5, like I said. Move it up to 10. So we were right here at 7.5, about 14 inches high, moved it up to 11. And once again, you always want to chase your arrow when you're making any adjustments, whether it be archery or rifle, you're chasing your shot. So we moved it up to compensate. We'll shoot 3 more and see if we're hitting paper. So that was 3 more. So we're at 20 yards right here. I'm gonna move it 2 more numbers, and that should put us just like an inch high, I would say. So I went from 11 to 13. Taking this guy back down. So as you can see now we're at the 13 mark. Shoot 3 more. So that last group of 3 was about 3 inches high. The way the pins are set up actually with my slide tape is I'm going to do a 30, 40, 50, and we're at 20 yards right now, so I'm going to move it 1 more number high. So that way I'll be about 1 inch to 2 inches high. So at 30 it'll be pretty dialed. But my last 2 groups have been about 2 inches to 1 inch right. So we're going to move it up 1 number and to the right a little bit. Speaking of arrows, I am shooting the Axis 5mm 340s. And the 340 refers to the spine, which is what, the rigidity?
This toughness,
rigidity
the
of the arrow,
yeah.
like the flexibility, so it's 340. So that last group was at 13, so I moved it up 1 more to 14, and we're about pegged out here. So I think 14 will be perfect. Once again, I'll have more slide clearance because we moved the whole housing. And then now we're going to focus on this axis, and I'll probably move it a half number right, chasing your arrow, once again, chasing the aerial. So now we're focusing on this axis, left to right, because I was shooting a hair right. It was at 12, I loosened it, slid it over right, and now we're at 11. We'll see if that makes a difference. Get Hushin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have my
Is that the excitement that he was after earlier? No.
Welcome to the HUSHLIFE vlog.
There we go.
Too bad I'm not checking out shed antlers. Here doing in the work. We're dialed in at 20. We got everything close where we think that the 30-yard pin.
Let's start this over, man.
All right, you guys, so I've been shooting at 20 for a while now. We kind of tightened things down to get close. We just stepped back to 30 because my pin situation is going to be 30, 40, 50 for my slider tape. So I have my slider at 50. I'm going to shoot my top pin, which should be 30. We are at 30 yards now. We're going to send 3 and then fine tune it to get dialed in at 30 yards. Honestly, I've not shot in quite a long time. I'd say 8 months to a year. But this is at 30 yards. These 2 seem to be what the bow's doing. This 3rd one seems to be what I'm doing. So I'm gonna move it up. I'm gonna move it up half a number. Left and right looks good. I'm gonna move it up half a number, and hopefully we can get at least 2 in the white. And I'll work on my technique on the third one. Okay, I was at 17 and a half, moved it down half step, we'll shoot 3 more.
Looking good. What's that third one gonna do?
We did it. Sighting in your bow is like sighting in your rifle. It's tedious. You start questioning your head what you're doing. You start wondering if you're moving the sight right. That was the third shooting at 30 yards, and we're getting closer.
Logan has great 2-arrow groups. Actually, they're not groups, they're pairs. 2-arrow pairs. You add the third in to create a group, gets a little squampus, but like we said earlier, we think these are where the bow's shooting, and by like every time a third arrow just does its own little thing.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to do now, like just shoot, get those muscles strengthened, practice, but we have the 30-yard pin where we're gonna set. We're not gonna move the housing anymore. So then when Logan goes to sight in, it's 40 and 50, then he will micro adjust those pins to those yardages. So his sight housing is right where it's gonna be, and then we'll move those individual pins according to where they need to be for the 40 and the 50. And then the slider should all match up after that.
So we're pretty close on the sight now, at 30 yards. That's my 30 pin. I just need to get out and shoot more. Like I was saying, I haven't shot in a good 8 months to a year. My bow's at 70-pound draw right now, which might be a little heavy. Noticed that I just slowly went down in consistency since I started shooting, just because I'm getting tired. But yeah, like Casey said, the goal is going to be shoot. And next video will probably be 40 and 50 yards. So then my slide should be on. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're not already, go hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.